Disney trench, like a completely fake trench. But for the student of trench lingo, this is the real thing. It's a real trench, excavated, and then preserved in concrete. And you can see exactly how the front line would have been laid out. This was the British front line in 1916. What I'm standing in is a fire bay. This is where the riflemen would stand, keeping watch on what the Germans were up to over there. Then you come to this thing, which is called a traverse, a kink in the trench. And the reason for that is, if the Germans get in the trench and it's absolutely straight, they can shoot all the way along it. So you put these kinks in the trench so that once they get in, you've still got a chance of defending yourself. You can defend yourself from traverse to traverse. And here, at the corner of this traverse, they've built the good old latrine. They put a bucket in here, they cover it over so it can't be seen by aerial observation, because snipers and bombers and artillery, if they know that they've got a known place that's where people come, becomes a particular target. So they try to disguise this latrine, they put a bucket in there, a pole across, and that's where you come to do your business. Here we've got the fire step. So this is where you do sentry go, or as they called it, stag, doing stag, keeping look, with your head down, of course. There is one slightly false element about this trench, and that is the front, the parapet, the front of the trench, is higher than the back, whereas in a well-built trench, the back is slightly higher than the front. Because if you stand up here, if you expose your head, it makes a silhouette. So you want it at the back, you want it to be a bit higher so that they can't see the silhouette, the shape of your head when you stand up. But the most interesting thing about this trench, again, remember this is real, we have a real dugout. This is Yorkshire dugout. You can see how high the water table comes, and that's why trench warfare in Flanders was such a filthy business. Because as soon as you dug down 2 or 3 feet, the whole thing flooded. And that's why you've got these duck boards. If you come a bit closer, you can see these duck boards. Underneath there is a sump, all the water you want to drain in there. You can walk across here and keep relatively dry, but underneath you've got to keep pumping all the time to keep the water out. And this dugout, down here, in this dugout, you've got steps going down 30 feet. And under there, you've got a whole network of chambers. There are 11 separate rooms down there where during bombardment the frontline troops could shelter from the barrage. Yorkshire